Hey, gang. It's Indiana Peach. Back in your face and your melon. Again. Can you believe it? With the Cairo detective stories. I'm going to read the entire thing aloud. So don't make any prejudgments. And we're going to start from the beginning. And it's going to be like the director commentary. All the details. Starting from Jump Street. Which is the cover. The cover of the book by Stephen Bizer of Michigan, otherwise known as Booger T on the internet. He was famous for drawing something called Pickle Comics. Pickle Comics were a lampoon of the director J.J. Abrams, who directed the Star Wars Episode 7. And we used to call him Jar Jar Abrams or J.J. Pickle. And actually, I was the one who came up with the name Pickle, for which Bizer did the cartoons, Pickle cartoons. And I got the idea of calling J.J. Abrams Pickle from the movie Bad Santa, because this little boy is like a fan of Santa Claus, so he gives him a bloody wooden pickle because he doesn't know how to express his fandom. Honestly, that's kind of the idea of it. Pickle. So it was sort of a joke that took off, and for some reason people thought J.J. Abrams' nose looked like a pickle. So it had some other overtones which were never intended, but nevertheless, we all had a laugh, sadly. So Bizer did the cover for the Cairo Detective stories, and it's a picture of Jonas, the main character, smoking a cigarette as he's wont to do. And it says Indiana Peach. It's a really beautiful cover. You can pick up the book for $10 on Amazon. There's 3 stories in this one: Curb Stomp A Crocodile, Scholars Weekend, and Mississippi Blood. So, okay, there's a dedication page to the city of Cairo because it's very poor, and I thought it would be nice. So here we go. The first book, Curb Stomp A Crocodile. I'll say one thing. What does that mean, Curb Stomp A Crocodile? It has no relationship with any cinematic stuff at all. It just means, like, crocodiles are evil from the Nile, Cairo, so you have that theme, the African theme. And Curb Stop just really, I thought it was evil sounding and cool. That's about it. Here we go. Curb Stomp A Crocodile by Indiana Peach. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry for taking sips of coffee periodically, so I know that drives some people crazy. But Curb Stomp A Crocodile. Fall. I had 4 cups of coffee at the Abbey, where a girl with jet black hair works the register. She is expert in the way her small hands reach for wax paper, the way she lifts glass from a pile of scones. The smell fills the shop when she does this. It is a warm compliment to the stern aroma of coffee. But I left her behind 3 hours ago. I smoke cigarettes. There is a cold, billowing wind yanking leaves off branches. The street, the brick, and the apartments cast shadows so black they take on dimensional forms. I am the last private detective left in Cairo, Illinois. Cairo. I turn up my collar and try not to grind my teeth. Race riots, lynchings, poverty, stagnation. The showboats no longer come up the Mississippi en route to the Ohio. My friends are gone. But there is something about this city that draws me in. I can't say what. Perhaps it's the rusting architecture. In spring, the weeds overtake these mausoleums. But this is late October. Only two streetlights operate. It's hard to describe the perfection of cigarettes and coffee on an autumn night. They set an atmosphere. They create a pall, a force field around me. Yellowed newspapers are stuck to all sorts of different places on the street. The contours of the levee are lost to my eyes. I was staking out 1440 Cartwright, a coin laundromat that attracts a surprising amount of business, waiting to see if a two-bit hustler named Needles would show up. Just kidding. I was tailing someone's wife. I had one question to ask her, although I was sure she would not be amenable to my asking. So, I had to answer the question the old-fashioned way. Investigation. The laundromat was open until 2 a.m. I could hear the pleasant clatter of the dryers. I lit another strike, and I saw what I needed to see. Unfortunately, she saw me as well, and this is a small town. I live in a house on the outskirts of Cairo. What am I saying? Everything is the outskirts here. The vacant lots are piled with scrap. If four walls are standing, it is the exception. You cannot imagine the loneliness of the city unless you visit. You can hear the river everywhere. It is so stone silent. At night, one thinks anything may be possible. I once heard a story that a bear walked into a restaurant in Cairo one evening, tucked a diner under each arm, and walked out. In Cairo, you can almost believe such a story. People don't exactly just up and disappear in Cairo, but there has been an exodus happening for almost half a century, and it's not uncommon for a family to suddenly not be here anymore. No trace, no goodbye, just the sound of the river, and at night in the fall, the naked branches touching fingertips with dry leaves. That is Cairo. I got home, and my cat was flicking his tail on the porch. I was too tired, and it was too late for us to acknowledge each other. I just wanted to get inside, open up 2 cans of ravioli, and get drunk. I only had 1 pack of Camels left. I put the ravioli on the stove and opened the screen door to my porch and stepped outside. I tore off the silver shield and let the cold air mix with the smoke. It ruffled my hair. I heard the seal on my scotch break and brought the green bottle up for a big swig. Then, another drag from my Camel. The ravioli was bubbling away. My cat was out of sight for the moment. I waited for a couple minutes. I looked at the neighbor's yard. It was quiet. Another blast from my scotch bottle. When I righted it, the liquid splashed down with an audible cush. Those had been 2 big-time slugs. I made the anticipatory move of filling my cat's bowl before serving myself. He looked expectant when he saw me sit down to supper, but then noticed his bowl already filled. We dined happily together in silence. I smoked inside. I love smoking inside. Okay, that was the preface, and I'll be back more coming soon. Thank you. Robert, Indiana Peach. Later. Cairo Detective.